Be sure to listen to Rock Zone and Shadow of Intent.
Na kus řeči s Frankem.
Nazdar bando, zdraví vás Frank z Rock Zone 105.9 a vítám vás u dalšího dílu pořadu Na kus řeči s Frankem. Dneska moje pozvání přijal kytarista kapely Shadow of Intent Wiseman. No a ještě předtím, než se budeme podívat na ten rozhovor, tak se mrkneme, jaký tady byly Shadow of Intent na festivalu Rock for People. How are you doing and how excited for today's show are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Hope you're doing good as well.
So, and Elegy, your latest album,
Yes.
was released 2 years ago, and then out of nowhere came the soundtrack for it, the orchestral soundtrack.
Yes.
But what I am curious about is the collaboration with Francesco Ferrini. From FLESHGOD Apocalypse.
Yes.
And my question is if he did all the previous orchestrations from your previous albums and how this collaboration came up.
So, our first two albums he was not involved with. We had not met him yet. But after our second album, we did a tour with FLESHGOD Apocalypse in the US, and we met him, and I, talked to him about their albums because I thought they, hired an orchestra, and I wanted to learn what it looked like to get an orchestra involved with your band. And he said, no, it's all programmed. I programmed it all. So I said, oh, well, perhaps you would like to help us with that as well, since you made it sound like a full orchestra. And so from after that tour, starting with that third album, Melancholy, I will, do my usual thing, create the synths, play the synths on the records, and then I send it to him, and he turns like my synth tracks into like full orchestra tracks.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
So there's nothing organic. There's nothing like
no.
Is still anything like violence and stuff.
Yeah.
So everything's done by a computer.
Exactly.
Well,
yeah.
computer.
Right, like
There's still a person sitting.
Right, someone had to record the violin originally, and then the computer tells it what notes to play.
Yeah.
So it's like a sample of violence. Yeah.
Okay. So now, obviously, I have to ask you, what comes next?
Yeah.
Is there any hint for like maybe a new album soon?
Sure.
Or maybe some, not eventually like an album, maybe an EP, a single or something like that. Maybe this year, next year. Can you tell us something?
No, I mean, we definitely like to release some music this year and try to have some longer body of work like EP or album for next year. That is definitely the goal, yeah.
Okay, fine. So, truth to be told, I don't think it's bold to say that ever since Primordial
Yes.
came out, you paved the way to the future bands which are playing right now the symphonic deathcore. If I can say that you are playing symphonic deathcore,
sure.
or blackened deathcore, something
Sure.
like that. Now lots of up and coming bands are citing you and quoting you that you are basically the most iconic band in this genre.
I love that.
And
That's cool.
but are you even aware of this impact that you are having on these bands? How do you live with that?
Yeah.
Being such a star? No, I mean in a good way.
No, I mean it's great that we've made an impact on some people. I hope that we can continue to do so. But yeah, every once in a while I'll hear a band and think, this sounds a little familiar, but everyone's inspired by something, I was inspired by bands before me, and yeah, they'll some of these bands may inspire people in the future too, you know.
By the way, have you heard the EP that came out recently from band Synestia, I think it's called, and Disembodied Tyrants?
So
the Poetic Edda.
So Synestia, I mixed their EP and full-length album, and then from there they introduced Ben, our vocalist, did a guest vocal on this EP.
He did a guest vocals on the track The Poetic Edda.
So Ben showed me the band, and I immediately contacted the band, and now I manage the band. Disembodied Tyrant is, I manage the band, yeah.
I've heard it like hundreds of times. I totally forgot right now that Ben is featuring on the track. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And so, yeah, I talked to, you know, Disembodied Tyrant. Blake is his name, the singer. He produced the whole thing himself and did the orchestrations and mixing, and he's very talented. So, yeah, we're gonna try to get them on some shows very soon.
Oh, they are going to play live? Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyways, speaking of past, you had the 10-year anniversary last year. It's been 10 years of Shadow of Intent.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah, I would say this year, yeah.
This year?
It was December last year. Me and Ben, the vocalists, made the first recordings. EP called Inferi Sententia.
Yeah.
So that was first recorded, you know, 10 years ago, and next month will be 10 months since it came out.
Are you planning any celebrations or anything like that? Because I haven't seen anything on your social media, like speaking about the anniversary.
Yeah. So we had like a little hometown headline show that kind of celebrated like 10 years of Shadow of Intent and 10 years I've been in my other band, Currents. So Shadow of Intent and Currents did like a show. But yeah, it's tricky because it's very vague, the start of the band, because we didn't play live till 2017 and didn't have, you know, it's tricky to say what is the best 10-year celebration.
Okay, yeah.
But for me, a good 10-year celebration I think will be very important is for our album Reclaimer. I think that was a very important album for us, and we definitely want to
The Heretic Prevails.
Yeah, some celebrations of 10 years of that, for sure.
Well, okay. Recently you did a collaboration with Aborted on their album.
Yeah.
And you as well did so many featurings with other vocalists throughout your discography. So my question is, who would you like to see on a collaboration in the future? And you can name anyone.
Oh, on our music? Or
yeah.
I think Ben and I really like Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. I think he's been him and his band have been a big inspiration, so that would be great. Shagratha from DIMMU BORGIR.
Oh,
I think he would be great.
That's my weak spot.
Yeah, those are some. Maybe even, you know, like Corpse Grinder. One day we just toured with Cannibal Corpse a couple of years ago. I think that would be pretty cool as well.
Wow. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. So, and since Shadow of Intent is the reference, or the name is a reference to the Halo series, right? Can you imagine that you will be doing a soundtrack for a game, for a video game?
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
Do you know that Matt Heafy from Tribune did the soundtrack for the game? I think it was for the game.
It was Halo. Okay.
Yeah. And
I believe it.
And also, who did that?
Misha did a different game, yeah.
And Tesseract did their own game.
Okay.
The band Tesseract.
Okay.
They did their own game and they did the soundtrack for it. So my question is, can you imagine you doing a soundtrack for a game, which will be basically Shadow of Intent music?
I mean, that would be great if that happened, yeah.
So maybe, hopefully, someday will be out a game called Shadow of Intent.
Yeah.
From your hands, maybe produced.
Yeah. No, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Okay. The last question I have for you is, if there's any up-and-coming band that you have in mind that deserves a huge shout-out.
Oh, I mean, Disembodied Tyrant is definitely. I have to put them first. It's definitely some of my favorite music I've heard in a while. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So that was it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be sure to listen to Shadow of Intent, buy their merch, go to their shows, and support them all over the social media. And I will see you next time during the next episode. Don't forget to like this video, comment it, share it, subscribe to our channel, and I will see you next time. Until then, take care and peace!